Everybody says they want to be a millionaire, but if you actually look around, most people never even get close. And it's not because they're lazy or they're incapable. A lot of it is because they're following a financial playbook that was built for a completely different economy. The advice we grew up hearing: go to school, get a stable job, save a little bit of money, buy a house, retire someday. That system moves way too slow now. So instead of following that plan, I started building my own. I'm 24 years old, and this is the exact strategy I'm using to try and become a millionaire before 30. Now, here's the realization. When I first started working full time, I realized something pretty quickly. Income alone does not build wealth. I realized that I just clock in at the end of the day. My job is just a tool. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad tool, but I realized that income alone, it's not going to build me wealth. I might live comfortably, but again, that job is just something I can clock in and clock out and rely on a steady paycheck. Now, a lot of people increase their income over time, but their net worth barely moves. Do you ever wonder why? Because every time their income goes up, their lifestyle goes up too. For example, people get a raise, right? It's not abnormal for people to get raises throughout their career. Well, what do? They upgrade their car. If they get a promotion, now they move into a more expensive place, whether it's an apartment or a house they can't afford or a townhome, whatever it may be. So they're making more money, sure, but they're actually not building any assets. It's a lifestyle inflation. Now, wealth doesn't come from income alone. It comes from ownership. So step one, financial discipline. The first part of my plan is honestly the least exciting part. It's just financial discipline to a T. Most people try to skip this step because it's boring, but truly, it's the foundation of everything. If your expenses grow as fast as your income, you're never going to build any serious capital. If I take my paycheck, for example, I make roughly six figures on a yearly basis, and I know that. And if I just continue to buy the new car, get a new house, or live in a better apartment, or buy new hobbies or invest in new hobbies, I know that my expenses are just going to grow. And I don't want that because I'll never build capital. So my focus is honestly really simple right now. It's just to keep my fixed expenses low, my apartment, my car insurance. And that's the plan right now. I'm not planning on buying a new phone. I'm not planning on buying a new car. I'm not planning on going out and buying a brand new house. Those are just things I don't need right now because I know what I need in order to succeed in the future is to not to creep into this lifestyle inflation. Now, that's not to say that I don't spend my money. I just know that I save and I put my money into assets that are going to grow instead of buying more fixed expenses. Now, this means no luxury car payments. I'm not trying to impress other people online, and I'm not upgrading my lifestyle. And that's just because I know, sure, I may be able to afford it, but that's not a part of my plan. Because every dollar I keep, it just becomes fuel for investing. Now, going into number two is increasing my income. Now, here's kind of my second part of the strategy. You can cut down your expenses so much. We know that I need a place to live. I need a place to stay. I need somewhere to sleep. I have a monthly phone bill. I have car insurance. I don't have a loan on a car right now. I rent right now. But I know that I can only keep my fixed expenses so low. There's necessities that I need to pay for. So that only leaves one thing, and that's increasing my income. And there's almost no limit on how much you can increase your income. So instead of me obsessing over saving every penny, my primary focus is heavily on increasing my earning potential. Now that means developing skills that create leverage for me. It's learning how digital platforms work. How does X work? How does YouTube work? How does Twitter work? How does Twitch or TikTok or YouTube? How do all these platforms work? It's understanding how my audience is going to grow. And that's figuring out ways to build income streams that can scale. Now, section number four, step number three, build assets. There's a massive difference between people who work for money and people whose money works for them. Like I said before, your job is just a tool. You clock in, you clock out, and you're going to get paid on a set day. Again, there's a massive difference between people who work for money and people whose money works for them. Workers depend on paychecks, but wealthy people, they depend on assets, and assets generate value whether you're working or not. You could be asleep and your money's still going to pay you. Right now, my long-term focus is building 3 types of assets. My first one is investing consistently into the market. I'm not trying to get rich overnight. I'm just looking for long-term growth. Each paycheck that I get paid every 2 weeks on a Friday, I just automate into an investment account, whether that's my brokerage account, my Roth IRA, or my deferred comp plan through my employer. I'm just looking for long-term growth. I'm just looking to increase my returns on my money rather than just having it sit in a bank account. And the second is building a digital platform. Little do you guys know, but the internet allows individuals to build distribution without needing permission from any institution. And the third is ownership opportunities. My plan for the future is eventually buying real estate, creating my own business, and even having equity in projects. And the common theme is simple: ownership compounds over time. Now, one of the biggest reasons people never become wealthy is lifestyle inflation. I talked about this previously, but people's income goes up and so does their spending. Suddenly there's a need for a bigger apartment, a nicer car, or more expensive habits. And now they're locked into needing that income just to survive. Well, that's the trap. The advantage of being young is flexibility. The lower your expenses are, that means the more money going towards investments. So instead of upgrading your lifestyle first, the goal is to upgrade your investments first. Now, that's not to say that you can't have nice things, just know where your money's going. No, people always want to know the timeline. How fast can this actually happen? The reality is that the first $100,000 is truly the hardest. But once you build that capital and you keep investing consistently, the compounding effect starts accelerating. Your investments start to begin growing on their own. Your income increases, your opportunities, and suddenly the path to 7 figures becomes much more realistic. But it only works if you stay consistent. Becoming a millionaire isn't about one lucky investment or some overnight success story. And I know that. It's about building a system that compounds over time, whether it's financial discipline, increasing your income, owning assets, avoiding lifestyle traps, and staying consistent for years. If you start early and stay focused, the math starts working in your favor. Most people underestimate what they can build in 10 years, but the people who take that time seriously are the ones who end up living financially free. And that's the plan. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.